We take the yellow out of the Escalade headlights with the help from Chicago Pneumatic. That and more when we get back. I'm Tim Johnson, and you're watching Shop Tool Reviews. This is the Chicago Pneumatic CP7205 HLRK, or Headlight Repair Kit. This is an all-inclusive kit that comes in this case from everything from the polisher and the sander, all the way down to the sanding pads, and even the actual polish itself. So a true self-contained kit that'll let anybody start polishing headlights. So we've all seen the cars, probably on our own cars, that have some nice yellowed headlights. When they're new, they look nice and polished, and that plastic lens over time just starts degrading. And really the only way to change that is you can get stuff to wipe on it that'll help it for a while and things like that, but really you got to sand all that off, polish it back down the same way you would sand and polish a car. So this kit really does it all. And we tried it actually on our 07 Escalade that had some yellowing headlights. They were definitely starting to show their age. The sun's been baking at them, so they were yellow, they were dull, they were starting to be dull at night. You actually didn't get the visibility that you once had from the halogen bulbs. So we decided, hey, let's try it out on that. So we did. First thing we wanted to do was obviously protect everything, so we taped it all off. Well, first we actually cleaned the headlights. So we cleaned the headlights with just a little soap and water, and then we taped them off, masked them off, and I actually used some masking paper. If you want to use, a towel or, newspaper or just more masking tape, you can do that as well. But you definitely want where these sanding pads are going to be touching the paint, or you don't want them touching the paint, so you want them hitting that masking rather than the paint. But this kit really does have it all. I mean, all we had to do was supply the air compressor or supply the air line. But basically you get a dual action polisher, and then you get what they're calling a sander, which is just a rotary. Now I call them both polishers because it's really what they are. But you can see this is a dual action. So you see the offset there on the axis. You get that DA polisher effect right here in a small pistol grip air tool. Really cool, and I actually use this for all of it because I know on the polishing side, when you go to a pure rotary, this is going to cut better. It's going to be more aggressive. These swirl marks are going to come out easier than something that this is going to put on. So that's why I used everything from the DA. So they call this a sander. They call this a polisher. I'm calling them both 3-inch polishers because this one's just rotary and this one's dual action. So this one just spins like a drill. And this one's got that dual action effect where you get an orbit and you get a rotation within that orbit. So really cool little tool and nice and nifty to have it in such a small package. You get a 2-inch backing pad as well as a 3-inch backing pad. Now, we use the 3-inch backing pad the whole time, and we started with 800 grit sandpaper. Now, you can do this, and they actually go down to 600. And I've even gone down to 400 before on other headlights, but that's if you're really aggressive and you have some deep cracks you want to get out. That's what you want to start with, and you can start with that dry. So this 600, we actually didn't start here because all we had was some kind of bug remnants and also some dulling of the headlights, a little bit of yellowing. We started with the 800, which worked fine. And you can do this dry or wet. I did actually one of them dry and one of them wet. But basically, this is that first step is where you want to get all that yellowing out. So you'll see here that we see some of that yellowing coming off, which may be some from the disc, but also it is from that headlight where you see some yellow residual. And we got that off, and then we stepped up to, from 800, it goes to 1500. Now, we're also using the intermediate backing pad that they provide here. So what this does is give it an extra cushion. So in other words, you can't dig in the sides as bad as if you just had it flat on the backing pad. So this enables this, this sanding pad to actually stay and follow the contours of that light. 'Cause those lights obviously aren't all flat. There's a little bit of flatness to it, then it rounds off, and it actually has some creases as well. So then we took the 1500 to take the 1800, or we took the 1500 disc to take out the 800 scratches basically. And then once we did that, that was a little bit quicker pass than with the 800. Then we stepped up to the 2000. When you see me wetting it, I've got a spray bottle full of water and a little bit of dish detergent. So you see a little bit of foaming action, a little bit of soapy action, just a few drops of dish detergent in that water to keep it wet, because you do want to keep it wet. So we stepped up to the 1500 to take the 800 scratches out. Then we step up to the 2000. to take out the 1500 scratches. This just makes sense. This is how you go. And you're incrementally stepping up to now your 2500 to take out the 2000 scratches. And then your 3000 to take out the 2500 scratches. Now, after the 3000, you actually start seeing like a polished look here, especially when it's wet. Looks like it's pretty clear, but then you wipe it off, still got a little haze to it, and then that's when we go to the polish. Now, they supply 2 polishing pads here. One's a real soft, and one's kind of a medium. I stuck with the medium. I used the white one for a little bit, but I stuck with the yellow one. But again, you can use this on your own how you want to, but I was able to do all of it with the yellow pad alone and the headlight polish. So once you get done sanding, then you go to the polishing pad, and by the way, then you can take off the intermediate pad, go straight to the polishing pad and using the polish. And don't let it get dry. If it starts to get dry, you need more polish on the pad and start working at it. And I would do just kind of all vertical passes and then go back and do horizontal passes. And after a couple of passes, you can really see it polished out and worked really well. Now, I think the niftiness of this is just the fact that it's kind of all-inclusive. It's also got a nice foam inserts, you know, everything down to your wrench, to the pin to hold the DA so that you can take the pad off. So really everything in this kit, and like I said, all the sanding pads or all the sanding discs, the intermediate pad, the polishing pad, all in one kit. Now price, I've seen the street price on this, looks to be about $275. So a little bit steep, but again, if you're that shop, you're wanting to start making money on polishing headlights, it's a great kit to do that. Again, you're not having to piecemeal things. So then you can just take this kit, hand it to someone, train them on how to do headlights, and you can be making money off polishing headlights. As a homeowner wanting to do this, that's a pretty steep price to just polish your own headlights. But then again, you have one nice toolkit where everything goes. You can put it on the shelf, do all your cars, and it's a great way to keep those headlights polished so that you can continue to see where you're going. So there you have it. It's the CP7205 HLRK or Headlight Repair Kit. You can check them out at cp.com. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and if you don't mind, hit the bell notification so you can be notified of future videos. Have a great day. They are, oops.